G'day. Let me begin with a story. My name's Sandy Bowman, and I've been into racing cars for a very long time. Some time ago, during an off-road racing event, we had a very large crash and completely destroyed the car. My navigator, Daniel, and I, we were hurt, but not like the car. It was gone, completely destroyed. So the first time in my life, I didn't have anything to race. So to ensure that doesn't happen again, I'd like to welcome you to Aussie Racer. It took some time to get the hunger back and the want to race again. So I spent a bit of time thinking about how I wanted to approach racing again and get back into the game. Dirt's been my passion, and then an idea struck me that if I could drive, well, anything and everything, then I could race again. And the only way I could do that was to reinvent my life and become the Aussie Racer. Now, being here has nothing to do with the show, but it does have something to do with who we are and what we stand for. You see, most of our adventures are away from the city and away from the hustle. So we love the outdoors, and we wanted the show to have this welcoming, warm feeling as we present the very first Aussie Racer Challenge. And the challenge of Aussie Racer is simple. Myself and long-time navigator Daniel Hardman are going to find as many disciplines of racing as we can and give it a try. But not a half-hearted attempt. We're going to give it a real go, 100% committed. So what we're going to do every episode is we're going to borrow or build something that we can race in, on, or whatever. And we begin Season 1, Episode 1, by paying a tribute to the sport we lost Whoopie in. Off-road racing. So the way off-road racing works is pretty simple. You can race anything from a Polaris right through to a pro buggy or a trophy truck. All events are timed, so it's you racing against the clock. That's if you finish. These events are races of attrition. Long laps, stretched out over a couple of days of racing. They wear down man and machine, and merely to finish one is an achievement in itself. The class we race in is Class 8, commonly known as Extreme 4-wheel drive. You can tell the classes by the first number on the plates on the roofs. Ours is 833, so we're a Class 8 and then 33. That 33 is just the number that we chose years ago to have as our race number. Each class has its own restrictions and limitations of what you can build and what you can drive. We're essentially an open class, and the only limitations we've really got is engine capacity. In Australia, that's 6 litres or a 3.5 litre boosted engine. We had a 6 litre in Whoopie, and we've also got a 6 litre in Bill's car here, which is putting out around 500 horsepower. Now, I know there's guys out there that are topping well over 800 horses. That can be a real advantage in the soft dirt.
Squirming and worming.
So rather than chasing that sort of horsepower, we thought we'd get the old bus a bit more reliable and ready for the next event. Because I'm getting itchy feet, and it's time to see some action. So we're up here today in sunny Yea. We're going to take Bill's old B2 Sus for a run, doing a little bit of testing, finding a few faults that we had last couple of races, getting in prep for the Griffith race in a few weeks' time.
Misery. lost cause because I tried to cling to all the pretty things till they became the death of me.
No doubt she's had her faults, but this car's been in some form of off-road racing competition for well over 10 years now, and is considered a piece of furniture in the off-road racing scene. Nicknamed the Shorty, we lengthened this old Patrol's wheelbase to give it a bit more stability, but with its slow steering response, it can be quite a handful at times. Originally developed as a winch challenge car, it was quite successful, and after many years of punishment, it's finally evolved into its current spec that can get us up to speeds of 200 kilometres an hour. The thing I really love about this car, she's quite nimble and I can throw it around, making it great fun no matter what surface we're driving on. It's a really cool package. Gee, this car handles so much better than my old bus, hey? Just the balance of the car, it's not quite as good in the suspension, you know, size and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it sits on the ground beautiful. And just when we were feeling good about ourselves, we just spat a belt out there, slip it back on, back in action. We did get her fixed, and Daniel finally crawled out of bed to fulfil his navigating duties.
It's been that long since this guy's been in a race car, he doesn't even know how to put a harness on. You need a hand, mate? We got a harness professional around here, can help this guy out.
The car was sorted, bugs ironed out, and handling the wet weather really well.
One thing we didn't do is leave a heater in this damn thing though, you know?
All heating issues aside, it was a good time to play around a bit and get some more of a feel of being back in a race car again. I can't wait till we get racing on some proper tracks, but for now, it's just some good old fun. At the end of the day, I think we've torn up Bretty's property enough. It's time to get into some racing. Morning folks, welcome to off-road racing in Australia, one of the fastest forms of dirt sport around. Okay, I'll be frank with you. It's been some time since we're at a real event and we're definitely a little bit rusty. Although we drive hard when the flag drops, I've been doing this for a very long time and sometimes we really struggle to take things too seriously, as you're about to see.
We're about to take off from this morning's pre-run. As you can see from the frost, it's a bit cold. Got about an 80k track to do. So everyone's in their road cars. We'll let a few race cars go out first, but we think we better save our race car for the actual race.
So pre-running is basically what everybody does before the event. To check the track, it's one full lap of the course, so you generally get an idea of what you're up against. And it's a chance to have a shakedown and try and enjoy yourselves considering they're so long. And slow and boring.
We're just coming back into the finish line now. It's been pretty wild. There's a lot of corners washed out already. A lot of rocks exposed. So should be a nice journey out there.
When all 5 go red, then you got 5 seconds and then it's go. Go, go, go.
I see angels in front of me. I hear the devil comes from behind. But he won't find me. I'll be long gone. But he won't find me. I'll be long gone.
In the luscious farming country of Griffith, New South Wales, there'd been recent rains and the soil was fairly tacky. It was mad to drive on.
See blue sky in front of me. I hear the sound of thunder comes from behind.
The car was feeling strong and Danny and I were feeling confident that we could do really well this weekend.
I'll be long gone. I'll be the
This is not good. Really not good. The car's stopped. Power's virtually non-existent. Something's gone wrong. So we seem to have seized the engine and we're going to try and get this thing ready for the next event, which is Pines. For us anyway, Pines, we might race over in South Australia. If we can't get it all sorted, we might just start building our fresh car. So this is it, the Teagle Excavations ARB Pines Enduro 400. And yep, we've got the engine fixed. Well actually, we salvaged the engine block from Whoopia, crack tested it, rebuilt it, and presto, we're racing again. And not a moment too soon. You know, if we actually make it off the start line, we're going to be a step ahead from our result last season. That's some serious pressure right there. We even did the pre-run in my boosted Nissan Patrol to look good and feel the vibe. And of course, something special had to happen.
What was that? What was that?
A blown motor. We just destroyed $20,000 worth of engine.
Yeah, get a photo of that. Blown the sump out of it.
Our producer got wind of what happened.
but I did a pretty good job of explaining how much it cost to fix, and luckily, he took it really well.
Just put the windows back up.
It's just a $35 part.
That's steep.
So after finding out what really happened, Patrick got angry. And even though it was my car, he decided to punish us with, God forbid, a milk challenge.
So I can't drink 2 litres of milk, like, even not racing.
Well, you can have a choice. You can drink it during prologue and you have to come back with an empty tub of milk, or you can drink it before prologue and come back probably with an empty stomach.
Bugger.
So this is the 2014 Pines Milk Challenge. Away.
Danny and I had different flavoured milk, so if there was any spews, we could gauge who was the weakest in the challenge.
Oh, look at you, mate, drinking for Australia.
Shut up, I'm concentrating. In the words of Will Farrell, milk was a bad choice.
I've hit a wall.
Look at itchy nose.
Come on, drink more. I've got a litre. Give me.
Come on, Daniel. Hard enough. How much milk you got down so far?
I got about 100 mil to go.
I've got heaps to go.
Go on, keep drinking.
I actually got pins and needles in my hands. I don't know if this is actually a good thing.
You gonna be able to do this?
I actually seriously don't feel well at all.
Really?
I'm actually really feeling delirious.
Prologue was about to begin, and it was time to get serious and actually drive a bit.
Put your window up.
No way, I need somewhere to throw up.
So I'd finished about 1,800 ml of a chocolate strawberry
You
mix,
know where the track goes, man?
Straight ahead.
and Danny was about 1,600 ml through his 2-litre bottle of plain milk. We were feeling genuinely delirious, and even the adrenaline of racing wasn't kicking through the pain our stomachs were in. Obviously, they don't allow illicit drugs or alcohol in motorsport, and I reckon milk should be on that list also. It was horrible. While Danny and I were struggling to keep the milk down, the rest of the field were also making their way through the prologue, battling to get a good start position for the main race.
Car's not feeling good either, it's got a miss. Let's get that straight back in and get it fixed for tomorrow. Well done, buddy.
That is on.
Oh, I'm burping up a little bit of residual. Woo!
One great thing about the racing is the camaraderie. And Luke Erseg from Erseg Motorsport in Adelaide, South Australia, is a prime example of that. He's been helping out Aussie Racer on the side. We're going to lock the cameras on to see how his awesome Prolight buggy handles the ugly terrain while we race our GQ Midi, which compared to Luke's buggy feels like it's got no suspension whatsoever. Sunday morning didn't come a moment too soon. And because of our lactose intolerance, we started off way down the end of the field. We had a hell of a lot of time to make up if we wanted to sort out some decent result for the weekend. Luke and his Navi Buff have a quick car and stayed off the milk yesterday, so naturally they were off the line way before us. We put our bus into gear and got into racing, making our way out of the arena and into the beautiful pine forest of Millicent for the 420 race kilometres of punishment.
We're back to half throttle because of the dust and the bad kickers on the track. You just can't see a metre in front of us. Pick up easy right around 3 caution on.
Everyone was in the same boat, so we pushed where we could and started picking off the opponents. Luke was on fire and climbing up the ranks rapidly, heading towards the top 10 runners in the field. As the first couple of laps ended, the pit crew was on hand as we already had a broken exhaust to fix.
We've got 5 minutes to go until we've got to be back out for our next 2 laps. The boys are working flat out to fix the exhaust. Yeah, so hopefully they can get it done and we can get back out and have another good 2 laps.
Further up the field, some of the front runners were getting caught out from the slippery entry into a corner, and Danny Brown in car 42 got the short end of the straw. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but for 3 of these cars, their race was over.
Yeah, there's been a bad snap. Seeing the corrugations in and out of the corner. They're just, I don't know, some are probably 2-3 foot deep and just through.
While we were getting beaten around, Lukey was still picking them off and fighting a close battle with another Pro-Light buggy for the National Championship. They both suffered flat tyres from the same rock that caught out many others, and the lead changed hands several times. Coming in for our second pit stop, everyone was feeling the brutality of the track, and we nearly stuffed the car yet again. We had the same problem. We killed the motor at that Griffith race, sucked the air cleaner in, so lucky our blown up tow car had a pod, and we busted in and jammed a pod on there just to get us around, so hopefully it's sucking clean air. It seems to be doing the job. Danny can just check it from inside the car, he can just see it, so keep his eye on it and make sure it's still going. By the last 2 laps, the track was badly chopped up and we were losing cars left, right and centre.
Off, back on, back on.
That all stopped quickly.
You reckon it's seized or?
I don't think so.
Yep.
Lukey finished with an amazing result. First in class, 8th overall, and a national title for the championship. Considering how hard he drove this event, his Matrix buggy proved to be as reliable as they come. Well done, mate. Towards the end, we battled it out with another old buddy and Class 8 competitor. He narrowly beat us, so we got 2nd in class and 25th overall. A great result considering the car's literally falling apart at the seams. Well, that was the Pines 2014, and 420 Ks of some. What starts off smooth ends up just the ruts are just out there now. There's cars bogged and they're this deep, you know. They're not going anywhere. And us came in. We lost first gear on that last lap. We lost the thermo fans. We had to pull over and repair. We lost 4th gear out on the high speed stuff as well. We just couldn't keep. We only really had mid-range speed and. The spare tyre broke off over the finish line. sort of a sign of how things ended for us, really. But we did finish. Made the travel over. So, cheers.
Bye.